Okay, at this point, we're going to run and cut this internal areas using adaptive clearing. We're going to select our tool in our file that we set up. We're going to use the 1/4 inch flat end mill, which is 11, and select it. You can pause the video to look at any of the feeds and speeds and set yours accordingly. I'm going to go to geometry, and the geometry I'm going to choose is the whole bottom down here. But I want you to be aware when I select that, this is important, that I'm not selecting the very, very bottom because of the chamfer. I do need to go further through it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the heights and tell it where to go. Well, first of all, I want to tell it where the top of the stock is. And so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose top height, selection. I'm going to touch the model at the top. On the bottom height where I want to machine to is selection, and I'm going to rotate it around. I'm going to zoom in on here, and I can touch an edge curve, a point, a face, anything I want, even the curve here, and that will set that one. We're not done setting here. When we use adaptive clearing toolpaths, they tend to have stock to leave. So now we're going to get into the first time we're using this fourth tab, passes. And down here you can see that, hey, we left stock at the bottom. Even though we told it to go to the bottom, it will not go to the bottom because the axial stock to leave was 20 thousandths. We'll put that to 0. By putting that to 0 and leaving the radial, we're able to leave material on the wall, but cut all the way through to come back with the wall material to do a finished pass. I'm going to go back to my heights, and do I want to break through a little bit through that face? Let's say yes. Let's go a minus 10 thousandths. And we'll be able to see that if we look from the front of the part, our toolpath just passes because we did turn off stock to leave on the axial position. And we have a nice radius coming here. Now, I do want to take a look at the top. I'm using a 1/4 inch bit, full engagement, and that's quite a bit of material to take off. I don't want to. So let's edit the radial engagement of this. What I'm going to do is come down to the adaptive toolpath, right button mouse click, select edit. We've selected the geometry here. We've selected our heights, and now let's select our passes. Under 2D adaptive, optimum load is our radial engagement. We're going to change that, let's just say to 50 thou. We're learning to control the tool and finding the buttons that allow it. And as you can see, it tightened it up quite a bit. So let's go and actually backplot this, or what we call simulate. And you can see I can run it, I can stop it, I can drag my mouse. You see my mouse going across here? I can play it, and it's going to go in, and cut. I think at this time I'll turn off the holder so you can see the flute. Flute's coming close. It fits though. And I can increase the speed. And now we just verify that toolpath is exactly what we want. We didn't have to go all the way through because we're going to remove that material on the face. Now, once this is done, our next toolpath will be the contour toolpath. And so I'm going to choose 2D contour so I can finish this part up. I'm going to move that around. My tool, I'm going to stay with the 1/4 inch. I'm going to come over here and select my geometry. So my geometry will be the same thing here. Now remember, we're not going deep enough because we didn't tell it to go past that chamfer, so we got to change our heights. Again, our stock height, let's move this up here, and you can see it. Our stock, we're going to do selection, and we're going to select the top face. We're going to come over here, and at the bottom, let me move this up, and the bottom, we're going to do selected again, probably just a little bit higher so you can see it, and there's selection, and this time I'm going to tell it to go to the face again. So we have that done, and I'm pretty much going to just tell it to go through it about another minus 10 thousandths of an inch. And when I hit OK, we have a clean, easy toolpath for cleanup. um, as we do this, I'm actually going to just simulate that so you can see what it does. It's going to cut right up to the edge of my material there. There's right up to the edge. That's my finish pass. And that's how we do the finish pass. In combination with the face, this one, the drill, the adaptive clearing, and the contour, we have the part will show itself removing. I'll turn off the translucence and you can see it cutting it out all the way up to the material. That's our chamfer line. If I go translucent, you'll see that we're verifying based off our solid model that we're choosing to machine those components. Well, good luck on this one. We'll go to board next.